Hello, Fight Insight fans, viewers, and listeners. Thank you for joining the podcast with me today as a special guest co-host, UFC veteran, Mr. Bryan BAMBAM Barberena. The beard is looking.
Hello.
What's going on, buddy? Today on today's podcast, we are going to break down UFC 300 main event. We are recording this on Wednesday, Valentine's Day. We know that Dana has said that he's going to announce it on Saturday evening. But Bam Bam, you and I are going to break down who we think will be the main event. Who will it be? Stay tuned and find out. I'm pretty sure Bam Bam cracks the code.
I got it.
It's money in the bank, so bet on it now. And then after we do that, Bam Bam, we cut to an interview that Raine and I did with Mr. Hunter Savage from Fight League Atlantic. Go check them out, of course, at fightleagueatlantic.com and on the socials. Hunter Savage won his debut fight 2 weeks ago while I was out there commentating, Bam. So we will meet him. He's a very nice young kid out of East Coast Canada. Aside from that, Bam, let's get on with the show.
Let's get it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Fight Insight Podcast.
Bam Bam Barberena. What's up, buddy?
Timmy B. How's it
We're
going?
back. We're back.
Back again.
Back
Fight
again.
Insight Podcast. Let's go.
Let's go. Episode 158, I think it is. Something like that. We're into our fourth year, Bam Bam.
Heck yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, that's crazy. I
It
thought
is
we were
crazy.
at 10. Damn.
I wanted to cancel this like halfway through year one. Here we are. So
But hey, year one, I think I was a guest twice. 2-time appearance. Now we're like 10-time appearance. I lost count.
yeah. Once you get into double digits, I mean, now you're just literally a co-owner of the podcast. So
I mean, it's these looks. It's hard to I mean,
yeah.
the beard. Why wouldn't you want it on?
No, there are so many women flocking to the podcast right now. That said, if you're only listening on audio, make sure you come over to the video, of course, on YouTube or Spotify. You'll find us there. Tell your friends, tell your lady friends. Bam Bam.
Tell your bearded friends.
Tell your bearded friends for updates on goat milk for the beard. Let's see. Bam Bam, we're going to get right into it because we've got one topic that probably is going to dominate our conversation for today. And that is before we get into our interview with Fight League Atlantic's Hunter Savage. Bam Bam, I watched this kid fight in the East Coast.
Heck yeah.
First of all, his name is Hunter Savage. You can't
Sick
beat
last
that.
name. Yeah, you can't beat that.
First name,
It's
killer.
sick name in general.
Yeah.
Hunter Savage.
Hunter Savage, dude. So we'll get to him. Raine and I interviewed him last week, which was like 2 days out of his fight where he got a crazy knockout victory in his debut. It was a beautiful, beautiful fight. And he's a great kid. So Bam Bam, you can watch the podcast later and you can see this kid.
Awesome. Will do.
We're recording this on Wednesday. It was just announced that your boss, Mr. Dana White, said that he is going to announce the UFC 300 main event this Saturday after 298 during the press conference. Did you know that?
I actually just saw something saying that he was going to announce it after the fight or something.
Okay. Before we go in and start to make some predictions, because you are a UFC fighter,
he called me.
Yeah.
Called me up. He wanted to get my opinion on it. He asked me. Okay. I was like, yeah, that sounds good. I think we can move forward with that. I'm just kidding. No. No, I'm just like everybody else. Yeah, I randomly saw it on social media that, he's going to announce it.
Okay. So obviously, the rumor mills are abuzz. So what I'm going to do with you is we're going to go through some predictions. And I want you to give me your idea on what kind of percentage chance you think this has of being there.
Okay.
And then we'll get to yours too. If you have any predictions that I don't get to, then we'll go to some of yours.
All right.
So this is going to be our UFC 300 main event predictions. Right now, we've got Mr. Bryan BAMBAM Barberena. Go follow him at Bryan Barberena on Instagram. All right. It's right down there. It looks beautiful. Now, Bam Bam. First one up, Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler. What is the chance that happens?
I mean, I feel like there's a good chance, you know?
No, you're wrong. But go ahead.
I don't know. Just randomly, like, well, I don't know. Is he still under is he been in like the drug-free sport long enough?
Bam
Window?
Bam, if you watched our podcast breaking down drug-free sport, there's a bunch of loopholes in that baby that he could get in without 6 months. That's the
There's
way
been
we
a
read it.
lot more training videos of him crossing my feed lately. I don't follow the guy, but people be posting,
Okay.
stalking.
So what do you think the odds are that it's McGregor versus Chandler?
Are we talking like 1 to 10 chance? Like,
let's do a percentage. 100% being it's like guaranteed. You know what I mean? 0% no chance.
I don't know. I feel like 50.
50%?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I'll agree with 50% because I think like
He told you.
if they threw the money at him and if it all worked out, I could see it. And it's a big enough fight to headline 300. Right?
Yeah.
Even with no title on the line. Conor McGregor is Conor McGregor. Right?
Exactly. Yep.
Okay, so we're going 50%. Now, next fight will be Conor McGregor versus anybody else. So the trick here is if we're saying that Conor McGregor...
Oh, like Nate Diaz or something?
Yeah, anybody else. Anybody else on the roster. What do you think?
I mean, I think on their end, of course, like they're going to think if Conor could be the headline no matter what, right? Because he's the money draw or whatever. I don't think like it makes any sense, but I think people would be excited about it anyway.
But do you think it has a better chance of him being against someone else than him against Chandler, or do you think it's equal chance? You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. I think it's less. I'll go like 20.
20% chance that it's him versus somebody else?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. I would have thought you know what, in all honesty, I think there's a better chance he fights somebody else than Chandler, because I feel like if McGregor's going to come back, he wants, no offense, but he wants an easy victory. And I don't know that he thinks Chandler is an easy out. I think he'd want someone a little less.
Like, I can see that, but I don't think he's.
I think he'd want like a Masvidal or a Nate Diaz, and no disrespect to those guys, but like Chandler is still in his prime-ish.
Yeah.
I don't know that you're coming back for a potential loss at 300.
Yeah.
But all right. So what do we want to say for this one?
20%.
I'm not going to beat you on that. Okay, fine. We'll go 20% for that. Oh, you know what? I'll raise it.
What's yours?
Well, we're just going to go with the consensus between you and I, but I'll say 25%.
25.
I think there's a lot of marketing behind Chandler, so I guess if you wanted to in such a short period of time, we're only a couple months out. So to build up something, I think you'd want some time. But I think the problem is with Conor is that it's just you just don't know if he's going to do it.
Yeah.
He's already kind of hinted that he's not, because he said on his social media that he's fighting in summer. So there's that.
Isn't April?
Right. Next one. Next prediction will be Bilal versus Leon. That one is making the rounds recently.
Now, I do feel Bilal 100% deserves it.
No.
Deserves a title shot?
No.
What?
First of all, Bilal can't sell pay-per-view tickets to his family. I don't know. The public's not going to buy it, dude. The public does not like Bilal.
The public does not like Bilal, but I feel like Bilal definitely deserves it.
I'm not. Yes, he deserves it, but I don't know that he deserves to be the headline of 300.
I mean, sure he could, but I don't think he will be.
So what do you think? What's the percent chance of Bilal versus Leon?
And honestly, even Leon, I felt like people didn't, really follow Leon as much either. He didn't have a real selling power until he beat Usman twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. I don't think he's a huge draw either, unfortunately. Not for the American fans, that's for sure.
Yeah.
To headline 300, if you wanted to headline 299 or 301, by all means, that's a great one.
Yeah.
But 300 is what we're talking about, Bam. So, percentage chance that it is Bilal versus Leon?
I got 35%.
It's bigger chance than Conor versus somebody else. You got to get with your shit here, Bam.
I'm being realistic.
Okay, no, forget it. I'm superseding you on this. It's a 1% chance.
Dang.
There's no way. There's no way.
At least it's a title.
They're going to be thinking like, what's the chances that this thing sells money, and that you can't bank your 300 on that. The internet will explode.
Why are your percentages listed but not mine?
Because we're a team. God dang it, we're a team. But
I said 35%.
Wait, do you know something? Are you lying? Do you know something?
What?
You know it's Bilal versus Leon? Are you scratching your nose? I learned that in CIA. That's a trick. You're lying. All right. Next one. Fine. You're a little bit higher, but still, we're still not beating out Conor versus Chandler. Okay. Bam, here is my honest prediction that I really think this is it. Okay.
Okay.
It is going to be Logan Paul versus Mike Perry.
Are you serious?
You saw the photos with Dana with David Feldman from BKFC when they had that meeting, right?
Yeah.
And they posted photos of them together. I think that was Dana trying to get allowance from David Feldman to have Mike Perry fight in UFC. Logan Paul is like all buddied up with Dana with Prime Energy and all that crap.
Nah.
That's that. I've been leaving that everywhere, Bam. If that comes true, I'm going to look like Nostradamus, baby. What is
you get that? You get that? I'm coming to ask you for some lottery numbers.
6, 15, 32, 96. Bank it. Okay. Why not to Logan Paul and Mike Perry?
First of all, I don't think it's even 300 worthy.
Okay.
I think bring him in as like a co-main event for like something. Leon versus Bilal co-main event.
Yeah.
Boom. Help boost it a little bit, but I just don't see that happening. I don't know. Yeah. I don't think. I think Logan Paul, first of all, is like. I think him fighting the UFC or whatever is like a bucket list thing or whatever. Like, just wants to check it off kind of thing. But I think his focus is more wrestling and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I could see Mike Perry doing something like that just because it's Mike Perry. He's fought there before or whatever.
Yeah.
He'll throw down anyway. So, but I don't know. I just don't feel like it's it. It's not it. I got like 2%.
Are you as a UFC fighter insulted by that Logan Paul would headline?
No, I don't care.
Oh, no?
I don't care. No.
You're such a nice
People
guy.
always ask me too, like, are you upset you weren't on the main card? Are you upset that you weren't here on the card or whatever, or your place? I don't care. I get paid this. Well, I take this back. I was gonna say I get paid the same no matter where I'm at on the card. But if you're main event, you make a little more. But
sure.
Like it doesn't hurt me if someone else is fighting the main event or fighting ahead of me or whatever. That just means I get to go in there and do my thing sooner or later. It don't matter. Yeah. So it doesn't really matter to me. I'm there to do one thing, and that's fight. So
that's correct. Okay.
But
so
2%.
So what's that?
2%.
Okay. So Logan Paul versus Mike Perry is 2% chance.
2%. I could even go 1, but I was giving you,
You're giving me
showing you some love because
okay.
You said.
Okay, so we're going Logan Paul versus Platinum, and of course I'm live streaming these results at the bottom of our screen. So if you're on audio, so we're keeping track here. So Logan Paul versus Platinum, we're going to go with 2% chance, which I do not agree with at all. I think there's good chance, dude. I honestly think there's good chance on that because I think they're so desperate for a main event at this point. Okay, I won't say a few things. I was watching an interview with someone somewhat famous, and they were saying, when you think about things, you have to think about who is interested and who is capable. So when we're thinking about UFC 300, we have to think like who is interested in doing it and who would the fans be interested in and who is capable of doing it, like who's capable of headlining it, right? So Bam Bam, there's a lot of hatred, or I don't know if I should say the word hatred, but there's a lot of like complaints about the number of women fights on the card. I don't know if you've seen that, but
no, I haven't seen it yet.
People are very rude online. Here's my prediction. This was my prediction to be the co-main back before any fights were announced. UFC 300. So now I'm going to put this out there. Main event, Ronda Rousey versus Miesha Tate 3.
I don't think that sells either.
Doesn't sell?
No.
How dare you? That would sell a lot.
Really?
I don't know. I think there's a lot of interest in that fight. I think those are two women that, have been legends.
You do? You think there's a lot of interest in that?
Not for the main event. I thought co-main, that would be fantastic co-main.
Yeah.
Because Ronda Rousey doing her thing with WWE, Miesha Tate looked fantastic in her fight against Raging Panda.
I think maybe like opening up main card.
Okay. Yeah.
A little burst of excitement right off the bat to build the main card, I can see
Get
that.
some sexy time right off the bat. Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
What's your percentage on it though?
2%.
No, really?
Yeah.
Okay, but at least
I guess I could see it going higher. Okay, but I just don't see it as like main event because it's like
I gotcha.
Like it's more than a title fight. Those title fights on there and stuff. I don't think so. I think Ronda Rousey is probably definitely that draw, but I don't think, or maybe she was. I don't know if she still is, but she probably is. But I don't know if Miesha Tate has the same draw. I go. Yeah, okay. 25.
25%, so we're going to tie it with Conor versus TBD?
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, well, let's give it 1% higher or lower than that. You think better chance for Conor? Better chance for Conor. So, okay, we'll go
I'll go 24%.
24%.
Or I could even say to drop to 20. That's fine.
20%? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ronda versus...
Well, what do you think?
I thought it, like I said, I thought it had a really good chance at it being the co-main or main card opener. You're right, but somewhere that they would be a feature.
Yeah.
But now that we're running down and we're like, well, shit, we need a main event. I'm like, I don't know, is that the main event? Because again, you think who's available? They both are. Who's capable? They both are. Who would be interested in it? For sure, they both would be. They'll both suck up that limelight,
Yeah.
But I mean, the crowd would go bonkers. Like they would revolt if that was the main event.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, next one. This one is pretty much a no-go because of the comments that John Jones just made recently, saying that he's not available and that he's not ready. However, someone was texting me going, "Hey, have you seen the videos of him tackling rugby players?" So apparently he's been posting videos, or there's some rugby team that's been posting that they're training with him and he's out there like wrestling people. But yet he just made a comment in some interview about him because of his pectoral surgery and whatever, that he's going to be out until like for a little while more.
Yeah.
I'm still going to throw it out there. John Jones versus Tom Aspinall. for the undisputed heavyweight championship. Or what should we say? We'll just say John Jones in general. John Jones versus TBD.
Okay. I like that better.
Yeah.
And I think that's a high possibility.
Okay.
I think like him saying what he's saying or whatever could also be playing into the card of like, you know, no, I'm not going to do it. No, I'm not going to do it. Boom, I did it. You know, like,
yeah.
So I say high possibility, honestly. Yeah. Maybe like 80%.
Yeah. Okay. I'm up there with you, man. I think John Jones really is one of the only guys that would be reasonable for them to bring in. Yeah. You know, and they give him a fight. I mean, whether it's Stipe or whoever the hell you want to give him. But okay, so we're gonna go John Jones versus TBD, and we're gonna go at 80%.
Yeah.
That's our strong leader right now. I like it. I think that's a good one. Let me throw this one out there. If John Jones is unavailable, then you've got Aspinall with his interim title. Does he defend it against the only name that has been put out there, Alex Pereira?
I like that one too. I think that's good.
Bam Bam, what is wrong with you? You can't defend an interim title. That's so stupid.
Yeah, but it's been done.
Has it?
I believe so.
Oh, I don't even know that. Not in recent modern times, I don't think. Has it? Who were you thinking?
I couldn't even tell you.
Okay, so you think the defense of a interim heavyweight title against a guy who has never fought at heavyweight?
Yeah, but he's
300 worthy.
He's a champ, so it'd be a champ versus champ, or champ versus interim champ, I guess.
Yeah.
And you know he's already been a champ. He'll be like that's the shot at champ of 3 divisions.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that has built to it. I think he has, just in himself, has, you know, stock, especially with what he's done in such a short time.
Yeah.
He is a striker. People like to see strikers.
Yeah.
I think there's a possibility.
Okay. So higher than 80%, lower than 80%? What do you like?
I almost want to jump to 80% to like 85 and then put them at 80.
Okay, let's do that then. So we're gonna go Jones versus TBD at 85%, and then we're gonna go down now to who is it? Aspinall versus Alex.
Yeah.
At 80%.
Good choice there. Yeah, I wouldn't have tried to spell the last name either.
No. I know some people giving me a problem about that. Okay, so there we go. Last one I will give you before I throw it over to you in case you've got any that I haven't made up. Sean Strickland, your future president, Sean Strickland, against. I had it down as Sean Strickland versus an influencer, but I'll say Sean Strickland versus TBD. Anybody is the rematch
for the main event.
Rematch against DDP, fighting some sort of influencer, fighting Jake Paul, fighting Logan Paul, fighting that Bryce guy. Sean Strickland, does he come back to save the day?
I don't think it's gonna be him.
No. Because why?
I don't know. I just feel it. I don't know. I guess.
Dum dum dum.
Nah, I don't see it.
No?
I don't see the rematch with DDP. I see, or maybe I'll get into it next or whatever. But yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
So where are we putting that then?
I'll go 10.
10?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I think so. I don't think you do the rematch against DDP because that doesn't make too much sense. So, and then if it's Izzy, then it's a non-title fight. I don't know that that's really going to be too crazy. Okay, so we're going 10% that Sean Strickland saves the day. What is the percentage chance that you vote for him as president in 2028? It's like very high. Are you calculating?
Sorry, you froze. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. No.
100%.
No.
100%. You might mail in some fake ballots just to get him as president.
I'm good.
No. All right. So we've got John Jones versus TBD at 85%. You've got Aspinall versus Alex Pereira at 80%. Conor McGregor versus Chandler, 50%. Conor versus anybody else, 25%. Ronda Tate 20%. Strickland versus anybody, 10%. And Logan Paul versus Platinum, 2%. Bilal versus Leon, 1%.
I had that one at 35.
Bilal versus Leon at 35? Yes, fine. I'll
right.
put that as a little asterisk later on. But okay. Any that you think that I have not said that you think like, hey, I think that this person or this fight might be main event worthy for 300?
I think there's definitely that you left out, and I actually haven't seen it quite a bit. Actually, I don't think I've seen it at all. But Izzy versus DDP.
Because I was saying Strickland. Izzy versus DDP?
Yeah.
There's
that conflict about the whole thing that they had before and all that.
Yeah.
It'd be for the belt. Izzy coming back? I could see it.
I don't know. Like that would be pretty short notice
for
that fight. To me, I think that you would want lots of build up for that. You'd want like lots of time to market the hell out of that. And I think that that's a sellout fight in South Africa. I think you go to South Africa and literally everybody on the continent would be flocking to watch that fight because of the drama that would bring.
Yeah.
So I just wonder that I don't know that you waste that matchup for 300. I don't know that Izzy's manicurist will have time to paint his nails by then. Like, you need to book that in advance. That's tough.
Well, I just saw like a post on someone shared on Instagram or whatever that the head coach was like, give us a day, give us an opponent, and we'll be there, something like that, Yeah. People tend to say that all the time, but
Right. Okay. So what do you want to do? What percentage do you think? Izzy versus DDP? I'm not against it. I think it would be fantastic. I just think.
Let me look at my percentages here.
Okay.
All right. I'll go 65.
55%. So again, bigger than Conor. 65. Okay. Yeah, I like it. I think that it's definitely, again, when we think about it, they're definitely interested in that fight. Both men would be interested in that fight, and both men would be capable of headlining, capable of fighting. That's a good matchup. It's for a title. I don't know. I might.
I got another good one.
You got another one? Okay. While I write this one. Okay. While I write this one, and you go ahead. Tell me what your next one is.
I can't remember one of the guys' names, but you'll know what I'm talking about. Zuckerberg versus whatever the other guy's name. I can't remember his name right now.
Elon Musk.
Yeah. Zuckerberg versus Musk.
You know what? Nobody has been talking about that forever.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Okay, bam. Where would you put that in a percentage chance that that's going to happen? At 300 as your main event.
I think, honestly, I could see it being pretty high percentage just because it's not, it's so far out, it's like so far out of like not, people don't think it's ever going to happen, but they want it. They've been talking about it, fighting each other for a while. There was like the build up, and then it's been like some time to mellow out, but there's still like little chirps at each other. And so I could see it, man. I think for sure, even the MMA fans, UFC fans are going to be like, oh, whatever. These guys both never fought before or whatever. But it's just like, basically you got two billionaires in there scrapping it out, just to see who's like the man, which is, what basically UFC started as, is like, let's find out who's the man right now, so I could see it. I think it's high percentage.
You know what? I love it, dude. I think you're right, because essentially with everything that Dana White does, what the UFC does, they always just do their own thing. They're pretty much like, F you to, like, if you don't like slap league, I don't give a crap. I'm still throwing it down your throat. If you don't like this fight, I don't care. I'm still booking that match, right? Like, they do what they want. They're in dire need of something to drum up crazy drama here. And you're right, because amongst any of those fights, that fight would be very, very interesting to do. It would get the whole world talking.
Yeah.
Right? You're right. We haven't seen anything about that in a long time. I like that shit. I like it. My problem is, will both men actually step up to do it? That would be the concern, right? Like, okay, it's one thing to talk, but another to actually do it.
Oh, yeah.
But these guys are, Elon Musk, I feel, would do it no, you know what? Fuck it. They would. Elon Musk isn't going to back down. And then Zuckerberg's already competing in jiu-jitsu tournaments.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, fine. What percentage are we giving this? Again, if I started back at the top here, we've got Jones versus TBD, 85%. Izzy versus DDP. Oh, Izzy versus DDP is supposed to be 80%. It's a little bit less than Jones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. So we've got that at 80% as well. Okay. So we've got 85% for Jones versus TBD, Izzy and DDP 2, and Aspinall and Alex 80%, Connor and Chandler 50%. So where are we going? It's somewhere up high, right?
Yeah, I think I'd go around 75.
75?
Yeah. It's likely, but it's also a little bit kind of out of reach. Could possibly be out of reach. I don't know, but
I like it, man. I think you've done it. I think you've cracked the code. I like it. I like it. I think that's a good fight, man. Yeah, you're right. And I don't think that not a lot of people are talking about that as a possibility, which would be cool because it would come out of nowhere and people would go, holy shit, this is really happening.
Yep. Bam, bam. Okay. Fucking got it.
Goddamn called it today on Valentine's. We've called it. We'll know by the time. So this comes out tomorrow, Thursday. People will watch this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Saturday night. We'll see if any of our predictions are correct.
Yeah.
Before we end this, any last ones you want to throw up on here? No.
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't.
No. I think we've touched on all the major ones,
Yeah. The only other thing I can think about which like might bring draw would be like Nate Diaz versus Masvidal again.
God. I don't think you can bank on that, man. That's crazy banking.
Yeah. But we don't even have to put that on the chart.
Fine. We won't put that on the list. And please remember when you're looking at the list, Bilal versus Leon for Bam Bam is 35%. All
there
right.
You go.
You happy?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm happy.
All right, Bam Bam. Thank you very much, dude. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I just wanted to put this out there because I thought that this would be a good discussion. Obviously you're a UFC guy, so you're in the know. So obviously now you've revealed that it is Musk versus Zuckerberg at UFC 300, the main event, brought to you by Bam Bam Barberena. Yeah. Okay. We will see what happens, but I like these predictions. Let us know in the comments and on Instagram where you think the main event is going to end up. I do want to give a shout out, Bam Bam, as I always do, to our friends of the podcast. So I've got a few things. First is Rageworks Podcast Network. Go check them out at rageworksnetwork.com for audio podcasts such as ours. On March 2nd, we have our very first BKFC event in Canada, Bam Bam.
Heck yeah.
We've got former guest of the podcast, Robert Desharnais, making his debut. He's in the Prospect series there, so kick-ass Robert Desharnais. And then Jade Masson-Wong. She's a French-Canadian, Bam Bam. Wonderful, wonderful girl, fighter, kick-ass. Go follow her on OnlyFans. Jade Masson-Wong is going to, I believe, headline the card. If not, she's the co-main, but good luck to her. We might have her back on before that fight. She's such a cool person. Last week, two of our guests, Bam Bam, they both got the win Fatima Klein became champ for CFFC. So congratulations to her on getting a second title belt. And then Max Payne Griffin with the victory. Bam Bam with a hard-fought decision.
Seen it.
Good job on that. Yeah, that dude. I love that guy, man. Do you know him? Are you?
I've shared locker rooms with him before. Talked a little bit. Yeah, he's cool.
He's a good dude, man. I could see you two being friends because he
likes to throw down too. I like that.
Yes, he's a good fighter. He fights like you do. He just grits his teeth. He fights hard, and he's the funniest friggin' dude, man. Dude is hilarious. I also want to say PAW FC, which is Palace Athena Women's Fighting Championship. We've got a bunch of our friends fighting on that card. That is on March 9th in Calgary. Lexi Rook from England, Alana Cook from Canada, the Alanimal, and then Kate Batchick from England as well. Great Britain top team. All three of those are fighting at PAW FC, as is Andy the Crasian Win. You might know it as Nguyen, but I think it's pronounced Win. She is fighting on that card, and she will be our guest next week. So Andy the Crasian Win, she's going to be our guest next week. Yeah. So that's an all-women's event out in Calgary, so that's pretty cool.
Nice.
And Bam Bam, I did want to say something very sad, actually. And yesterday, there was a Canadian MMA fighter who passed away. Her name was Ashley Nichols. Her nickname was AK-47. She was an up-and-coming Canadian prospect. I had spoken to her a few times because she trains out at Niagara Top Team. And she seemed like a very nice girl. She's from Indigenous heritage and was all, would support that cause greatly. And she was a really kind spirit. She was good friends with Regan Coconut Gowing, who's been on our podcast a few times. She fought for LFA, fought for Invicta. She passed away. So I do want to say condolences to anybody that knew her or that loved her. And from all accounts, like anytime that I had interactions with her, she was so lovely. Never got her on the podcast, but we would chat here and there. Yeah. And crazy sad news coming out. So apologies and condolences to anybody that knew her.
Terrible, yeah. Condolences, prayers out to the family.
Yeah, man. The world is crazy, man. Like, make sure you go hug your loved ones, be kind to your loved ones. All right. We are going to now get to our interview with Hunter Savage.
Savage.
Bam Bam, if you had to give advice to a young man out in East Coast Canada named Hunter Savage, who's like a killer and looking to do this, what would one word of advice, or what would some words of advice be for Hunter Savage?
Dude, just live that name. Live that name, man. Just go.
Yeah.
Just keep doing what you're doing. Obviously, train hard, train smart, have fun. But
go hit up Bam Bam, Bryan Barberena, and go train with Bam Bam. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get experience the world, right? Like,
exactly.
I think go out, stretch out, meet people, network with other fighters, like do all that. He's a great kid though. Like when I met him, he trains with his one gym, but he's friendly with all the other guys out on the East Coast, like the other gyms, right? Cool. Like he knows what he's going to do. So good luck to this kid. We will get to that interview right now. So if you're here for Hunter Savage, thank you so much. Bam Bam, you're the best, man. Any words that you want to leave for the fans, viewers, and listeners of the podcast? Anything about you that you wanted to say?
Just tune in March 16th. I'll be fighting. I have a fight coming up. So tune in March 16th. Watch me throw down. Guaranteed to be exciting, full of fireworks. So tune into that. Always make sure you listen to the Fight Inside podcast on,
everywhere,
YouTube, everywhere, wherever it's listed, all around. You know where to get it, but listen to it. Great stuff, great people, interviewing great people, hear great stories. So be sure to tune in. Thank you for having me as always. Thank you to all the fans out there and everybody who supports me. And
man. And go kick some ass. We will see you soon, Bam Bam. Thank you so much. Now we're going to cut to this podcast, and we'll come back in a second to say goodbye. But let's
hear from Hunter Savage.
Now let's bring in our next guest. So Raine, we're going to bring in this man. He is a Fight League Atlantic 13 debutant. He made his first ever fight there in Moncton, New Brunswick. He had one of the craziest fights of the night. I'm not in charge of saying what was the fight of the night, but to me, it was one of the greatest fights on that card, which was an incredible card from top to bottom. I hope you guys checked it out at FightLeagueAtlantic.com. You should have bought the pay-per-view. I told you to for the last several weeks, you idiots. Raine, bring in our next guest. Here he is.
Please welcome Hunter Savage.
How's it going?
Look at this dude, Raine. Hunter Savage is here. Hunter, how are you, my friend?
I'm awesome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, buddy. Look at you, all professional and
nice to meet
looking
you.
good.
Yeah, he's wearing his FLA jacket.
Yeah,
representing.
Yeah, Raine. They had the hat. They had new fight gear supplied by Finesse Brand Athletics. Looking great. The tracksuit, the fight kits looked really good. Hunter Savage, you just won your fight in devastating fashion. It was an incredible fight. Knockout in the first round?
It was the
first round.
It
was
felt
the first
like 2
round.
rounds.
It felt like 5 rounds, man. It had so much action in this fight, Raine. But Hunter, how are you feeling today? You're just 2 days out of your fight. How are you feeling?
Honestly, I'm feeling awesome. Never better. Even the next morning, I didn't really feel anything from the fight. Maybe a short shin from kicking him, but that was about it. Tonight, I'm going to kickboxing like normal. Just another day to me.
No rest for the wicked. You just got to get back on the horse and get back to training. That's
right
crazy,
back in
man.
the gym, right back to work.
And so for the people that don't know Hunter Savage, tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, how did you get started fighting, and what's your background?
Growing up, I grew up watching the UFC and everything like that. I wanted to train MMA as a kid, but my parents were kind of like, oh, like that's violent. Like just stick to baseball or hockey or something like that. Like you don't need to fight. So it wasn't actually until I moved out to New Brunswick and I moved away from home. I started living in Fredericton, and there I met Ben Lees at a job I was working at. And he told me he's training MMA, and I told him I always wanted to. So he just kind of brought me out to a trial class, and from there I fell in love. And honestly, I don't think I've stopped training ever since.
That's crazy, man. And so, wait, how old were you when you went out to the East Coast?
Originally, 16.
Okay.
Okay. So went young. And how old are you now?
22.
Okay,
you still
so
look
22
like
years. I know. This guy's got such a young face, but And Raine, I don't know if you've seen the photos, but he is tatted up very, very well. The full arm sleeves on both sides, the whole chest.
Oh, I think it's I saw it on his Instagram.
Yeah.
What's going on with the tattoos, Hunter? What are they and what do they mean?
They all kind of resemble something. I've always been into Japanese art, and I don't know, I found Japanese tattooing just when I was 18 at a tattoo expo. I found this really cool artist, Aaron Hill. He's in Toronto, actually. He was at an expo here in Moncton, and he just had a Japanese flash piece, and I got it. And from there, I kind of fell in love, and I started a whole sleeve, got another sleeve. Now I got a whole body piece started. I don't know. I guess I fall in love with something, and I just go all in.
Yeah. So so the whole body is going to be colored and stuff too? Because right now it's like all black and white outline.
Yeah, it's just outlined right here, like top to bottom, but that'll be colored in. Just next weekend, I'm going to do my next appointment.
Oh, damn. All right. Mm-hmm. Now, Fight League Atlantic has 6 events this year.
Yes, sir.
What's the plan? What's the plan for you? What's the outlook? Like, when would you like to get back in there, if at all? Or was this a once and done? What's the deal for Hunter Savage?
I'd fight all 6 times if I could. More realistically, maybe I'll get 3 this year. But I mean,
okay.
If my coach would let me, I'd fight 6 times this year.
And so you are in the bantamweight division, I believe.
Yes, sir.
Right? So 135.
Yes, sir. 135.
How did you not, and I apologize, did you not weigh in even under the 135 though?
I was 2 pounds under.
Yeah. So tell me about that, because that was funny, Raine. So I hosted the weigh-ins, and there were quite a few guys though, Hunter, that came in and weighed in a little bit under the weight. And I thought, okay, that's cool, because these guys aren't killing themselves for the weight cut, right? They're just fighting closer maybe to your natural weight or closer to, you don't have to drain yourself. Hunter was one of the guys that was like very friendly, and like didn't seem like he was stressed out at all. Like he seemed like leading up to the weigh-ins, he wasn't like, you know, like laser focused or dialed in or anything. He was just like, it was just another day at the job, right? So what's the deal with weighing in a few pounds under? What was going on there?
Honestly, I just kind of overdid the weight cut. I was excited to get in there, you know. I wanted to be professional. I was like, I'm going to be 135 or below. There's no way I'm going to be overweight. And then I wasn't sure if my scale was the same as theirs. So my scale here said 134. I was like, okay, that should be good on their scale. Turns out on their scale, I was 133.
Oh.
So their scale was a pound lighter than mine. So I guess I just cut extra weight to be careful.
Oh, okay. But how much? Okay, so and then how much did you weigh going into the event?
The fight night, I was probably 148, close to 150.
Oh shoot! Okay, you did not look drained out or sucked out at all, though. Yo, really? Okay. Were you in pain and stuff, or were you feeling okay? Because you seemed like you were chit chatting and what?
I felt fine. But obviously, I was feeling it. I hadn't eaten for 24 hours. I was thirsty, but I mean,
were you grumpy?
I was a little grumpy. Might not have been the best to deal with, but you know, I was still smiling.
Yeah.
Okay. So the gym that you're training with is GFT Moncton.
Yes, sir.
And how is it training out there with GFT Moncton? Because you guys had quite a few fighters on the card, so it must be nice that you've got other guys with the same dream competing to that same level. What does that mean to you?
It's a great gym, and one thing that I like the gym particularly is there's a lot of guys my size. We have 2 other bantamweight fighters, which I don't know if you know, but a lot of other gyms, they just have big guys, at least in my experience. Like, I've gone to gyms where I'm the smallest guy by 50 pounds, and at my gym, I'm not the smallest guy. So it gives me actual training partners, which, I mean, I like that. But the gym itself, I mean, it's just great. It's a great crew of guys. Everybody loves the sport. We're all in it just to help each other. No one's there to hurt each other. Like, I've seen some gyms where they just have a goon who just wants to be the tough guy at the gym. But I feel like we're just a family. Like, we're really a team.
That's nice. That's nice, man. That's like Raine. Raine's the goon at her gym, I heard.
Yeah. I can see it.
Yeah, of course. Hunter Savage, is this your real name?
It is, yes. I've been asked that.
I actually asked him that.
Yeah.
I was like, is this his real name?
Like, man, there's no way. My first name, Hunter, is after Triple H.
Oh, Hunter.
Get out.
What, Hunter?
Hunter Hurst Helmsley.
Helmsley, right? Okay.
Yeah. That is crazy because your parents were Triple H fans?
Or just your dad?
So it's kind of meant to be.
That is crazy.
More so
that's what I was saying. That is so funny. That's so funny because the other day I was saying, I'm like, you know, if you grow up and you've got a name Hunter Savage, like you can't become an accountant. You know what I mean? Like that name sends you down the path. Yeah, no, like can't have go get your banking mortgage done by Hunter Savage. No, like Hunter Savage, you got to be a fighter, man.
This wouldn't be right.
Yeah. Now, Raine, what do you have to ask Mr. Hunter Savage?
Well, now that your name is actually from Triple H's name, like, is your entrance song basically Triple H's theme song too?
I mean, it could have been. I went with some Russian death metal, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I will say, Raine, all the music that the fighters chose, wicked songs, like good songs. There were no duds. All the songs were really good. But yes, Hunter Savage, in your next fight, you may want to look at either the DX song, right? Is that what you mean, Raine?
There's a DX, and then there's one where, and it's just for Triple H. It's like Time to Play the Game.
Oh, the game.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, you could do the Yeah,
you own it.
Yeah, that's
you
right.
Come out,
pretty
flex,
cool.
spit out water, all the shebang.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll own it. I'm down for it.
Yeah, no, that was amazing. So, Hunter, we were going to talk a little bit about the event and how everything went, but so how do you think that event went overall? Because was this your first time at a Fight League Atlantic event?
No, I've been to plenty of them. I've been there supporting all my teammates and everything, guys from GF Team and Evolution. So I've been to probably 5 or 6 other FLA events alone. But this one was a little special, just being backstage and in the cage.
Yeah, for sure. It was an incredible event. The crowd was great. What did you like best about the whole thing? Like what to you, like being your first time as a fighter there, what stuck out to you most? And did you absorb it all?
I don't know. I guess I was kind of trying to absorb it all. I was a little distracted, honestly. It was a weird fight week for me because the week leading up to my fight, my grandmother had actually passed away in the hospital. And so I kind of spent the whole week just mourning that, and it kind of took away from my focus. But once I got in the cage, I kind of came to after I got hit a few times, and I was like, all right, I'm doing this for her. I got to actually get in this fight, stay focused, you know.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Hunter. But I mean, it's nice that you were able to do that and pull yourself together, because I mean, that's a crazy thing for anybody to lose someone, especially during like a fight week. So that must be very difficult for you. I'm sorry. Did your grandmother like you fighting, or was she not a fan of you fighting?
Actually, she was one of the few people who were like just fully supportive. She's like, you know what? Like, I could always see you doing something like this. Like, you've always been the athletic type. Like, anything you put your mind to, you can do. And she was actually like really looking forward to seeing the fight. I was gonna like get it set up on her little TV for her, but unfortunately Tuesday night she couldn't make it any longer. But I know I felt like she was in there with me, so I feel like that could have helped me get the win too, you know.
Yeah, definitely. And Raine, I'll tell you. So in Hunter's fight, he goes out to fight. You guys were the only guys that kind of had something during the weigh-ins as well, because he tried to flex in front of you, right? So he stood in front of Hunter. Oh, you did it. Wait, you started it? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I went in front of him, and he tried to go in front of me.
Yes, that's right. Okay. So that was nice. I liked it, Raine, because it was like a little bit of a drama. And then the fight starts. The fight starts, and it's just madness. These two guys just went at each other, like killing each other. At one point, I told you, Hunter, after I told you that I saw this, but as you were fighting, like he knocked you down pretty hard, man. And he went for the choke, went for the submission. Raine, he wasn't able to get it. Hunter somehow pops back up and gets out of it, and I could see Hunter's eyes, and Hunter's eyes were like had popped open, and I was like, oh, like what's going on? And then something clicked. He zones back in and then got a knockout finish of his own. Knocked the guy down. The guy got back up. I mean, this kid, Colby Livingston, correct? Colby Livingston was his name?
Yes, sir.
Kudos to this dude, man. Like this dude like brought the war. It was a fantastic fight. He gets knocked down, then gets back up, and then Hunter finished it. But I mean, how much respect do you have for your opponent? Because I mean, that was an incredible fight for you guys to kick off what was your first ever fight.
Nothing but respect. Honestly, I couldn't have asked for a better fight. It was a little sloppy start on my end, but you know what? He brought the heat. He taught me keep my chin down and pay more attention. And I'm thankful for that. He brought a war. And honestly, it was fun, man. That's what I wanted. I wanted to bleed. I wanted to put on a show. And I got to do that thanks to him.
Yeah. Kudos to that guy, man. Like all the fighters on that card were absolutely incredible. And the last thing I'm going to ask you, Hunter, is after the event ends, Raine and the crowd is leaving, whatever, there's Hunter still walking around the arena just saying hello to people and stuff. So after the fight, Hunter, you were just walking around the crowd randomly, like saying hello to people. What was going on?
Well, I had like family members and friends scattered all out the arena, and they're all texting me. Like after my fight, I open my phone and I have like 100 missed calls, 100 missed messages, just being like, "Hey man, like I'm here in the arena, like come see me." So I was trying to see everyone who was there, man. Like I didn't see half the people who were there to see me, but like after the fight, and like after the crowd cleared out, that's when I was like saying hello to my security family, because I work security too, on top of roofing, and all the security guards there, like I work with them, I knew them, so I wanted to celebrate with them. So I had to wait till everybody left, and then I, kind of gave them all hugs and said thank you for being there.
That's awesome. I can imagine him getting like a text, like after he knocked someone out, like he's getting all these messages. Oh my God, you knocked your opponent out. I've always wanted to ask.
Pretty much
I've always wanted to ask a fighter this. when you knocked your opponent out, or when you knock someone out, especially, you know, if you're in a fight, right? What goes in your mind? Like, is it like mostly like, oh my God, I just knocked him out. Great. Now I feel like I won. Or is it like, oh my God, I just knocked him out. What did I do? Like, what goes in your mind?
For me, it was neither of those. For me, I wanted to keep fighting. Honestly, like that's the only thing in my mind. I'm gonna keep throwing it. I felt like he had more in him. I wanted to stand him up. I wanted to keep banging. I thought he had a second round in him, but you know, the ref stopped it. That's what it is. What it is. In my mind, I was still there, ready to fight. I wasn't even thinking about the fight being over.
Yeah, it was crazy, Raine. It was a great fight. I do remember, though, you were the one guy, I think I recall, that when that fight was over and he was there and the ref had called it, I remember you turning back to him and bowing or giving some sort of show of respect. You did that, correct? Yeah. Raine, very,
after
very...
I did my little parade, put my arms up like my coach told me to. And then, you know, I saw him there. He was looking up at me. I took a knee. I said thank you. And afterwards we hugged, we had a talk. We said, thanks for the fight. It was a war. And yeah, that was it. Nothing but respect.
That's awesome.
It was amazing, Raine. All the fighters on that card at Fight League Atlantic really just put their true honor on display, but in true martial arts fashion. They were all respectful. They were all very, good to one another. But I remember that scene. I remember seeing you turn there and bow to him. So I thought that was very nice. So Hunter, good dude, man. Before we let you go, is there anything that you want to say to the fans, viewers, and listeners of the podcast and fans of yours that would be watching this?
I guess just remember the name. We're only getting started. And thank you for having me.
Damn. Hunter, I'm so glad that I could have you on, man. I do want to ask you one final question, if you do not mind. It's a question that my mom used to ask me all the time when I was growing up. So I'm going to ask it to you. The question is, on a scale of 1 to 10, Hunter Savage, how happy are you?
Right now, I say I'm a 10. I get to go and see all my friends at the gym in a few hours. Actually, in like 1 hour now. So, I mean, I'm feeling good. I just get to celebrate with everyone in my life.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I'm so happy for you. I'm very excited for what your future holds. I think that you're a good guy. And I'm glad that you found a good gym. I'm glad that you found a good home, that you doing something that you love, and 100% your grandmother is looking down on you and must be so extremely proud of you and what you've done. So thank you for joining the podcast. I do hope to see you again live. I hope to be able to talk to you again. You're always welcome back on the podcast. Anytime you got something to promote or you got a fight, please do feel free. You're a friend of the podcast for sure. Raine, anything you want to say to Mr. Hunter Savage?
I want to say congratulations. And yeah, I love your name, Hunter Savage. It really fits like a fighter,
Thank you.
Could not do anything else, Raine. You can't do anything else. Yeah. Hunter Savage, thank you so much for joining the podcast, buddy. And I will see you soon. Have a good one.
Thank you. You have a good one. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. That's the interview with Hunter Savage. We hope you enjoyed it. Ringside Raine will be back next week to co-host. I hope she comes back. Otherwise, Bam Bam, I'm calling on you again, my friend. And that's it, man. Right around now, if you're listening on audio, this is the end of the podcast. But if you're watching on video, you'll see some clips of some other podcasts that you can click on. These are some of our favorites. Maybe I'll put one of Bam Bam's on there. And that's it, buddy. Have a good one. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks. Take it easy.
See you, buddy.